All right, this morning we've got a special guest here at Local 2. Still ahead, Anthony Yanez will introduce us to one of the Houston Zoo's newest members. And right now we're following a breaking news alert. We want to take you up to KHOU live over a police chase. This is going on in Houston's South Side. Police are following a black Chevy Lumina, which was just on the South Belt. This all started in Southwest Houston at around 11:15 this morning on South Braeswood and Atwell. At one point, we understand somebody in that vehicle was tossing objects out of the window. At this point, it's still unclear what sparked the chase, but you can see the black Chevy Lumina there and a police officer keeping a relatively close but safe distance from the vehicle. The car just passed South Post Oak. Not a lot of traffic there on the road for the time being, and you can see there's some construction going on, and the driver doesn't appear to be going too fast at this point, keeping his speed in check. Again, this story is just going on right now. We're still not sure what sparked the chase, but we're going to keep a close eye on it.
And you can see in this picture that they are trying to close in on, but obviously keeping it a safe distance. And this is a fairly low-speed chase for the most part, as we've seen this driver kind of weave in and out of lanes. And we do see one officer's car directly behind him, and we saw kind of that police helicopter cross over as well. But again, we still don't know why this person is trying to get away from police, and we don't know what kind of provoked this whole situation, and still don't know how many people exactly are inside of that Chevy, but we're still trying to get more information as officers are in pursuit right now in South Houston.
That's right. This all started around 11:15 this morning at South Braeswood and Atwell in Southwest Houston. Again, the vehicle that officers are pursuing, a black Chevy Lumina. We understand that at one point someone inside that car was tossing items out of the window. We've lost sight of the vehicle. There it is right there. It appears the driver may be getting back on the highway. At one point, this chase went from South Braeswood and Atwell all the way over to the South Belt. The driver exited the South Belt and was going on some side streets there. And you can see there's some construction going on where this chase is taking place. It looks like the left lane is closed to traffic. And there's not a lot of vehicles on the road, and the driver is keeping his speed relatively low at this point. So this is technically a low-speed chase. And you've got officers who are pursuing the vehicle, the officer keeping a safe distance, but still hot on his tail at this point.
I know, it almost looks like he's been just U-turning up and down the feeder roads alongside the South Belt there, just kind of leading police on this chase. You saw at least 5 police cars behind him, all in a line directly behind him. And as you can see, there aren't a whole lot of cars on this feeder road here alongside the South Belt, which is kind of working to his advantage right now as he just kind of moves along without a lot of traffic going on. But we haven't seen police try to put out any spike strips or anything like that to stop him. They just kind of been blocking different side streets, and this is a wider shot, gives you a good look right here of the area, and you can see it's pretty wide open as this car just continues on down the feeder, now turning right here, getting on that side street there. I couldn't read the street that he was getting on there, but still making his way in the area of South Houston with at least 5 cop cars behind him, and we saw a police helicopter overhead monitoring the situation as well. You can see some people kind of coming out along businesses, taking a look at what's going on in this chase, and we still haven't gotten any information about what started all of this. We just know it's in the area of South Braeswood when this began a little while ago during this 11 o'clock hour. And we've been over this chase for probably about 15 minutes or so as the officer figure out what they're going to do next and what his next move is going to be.
That's right. The driver now on South Post Oak doing a U-turn right now. Again, keeping speeds relatively low here, which is not something that you often see during these police chases. You often see drivers going erratic on the road, weaving in and out of traffic. Fortunately, where this particular pursuit is taking place, you're not seeing a lot of traffic there on the road, and you're not seeing this driver racing away from those pursuing squad cars, keeping speed relatively in check at this point. We are working right now to gather new information on this police chase for you. We're trying to find out what initially sparked the chase, which we are told started around 11:15 this morning in Southwest Houston near South Braeswood and Atwell. The driver is now moved over to South Houston, at one point going on the South Belt, then exiting in the South Post Oak area. And
he may be making a move here.
There he goes. Looks like he's pulling into a convenience store parking lot there.
We lost him for a second. There he is, pulling through this gas station here. No, he just managed to weave over, but there's quite a bit of traffic at this point, so we'll see how he's going to make his way through that. But this guy is in no hurry. I mean, the speed at which he's going, very slow and deliberate, and he managed to evade them again, kind of going through that, looked like a Shell gas station there.
Right, and certainly during these police chases, the pursuing officers, they not only have to worry about the vehicle that they're pursuing, but they have to worry about the other drivers on the road and certainly take the necessary precautions to make sure that the driving conditions for them are safe.
And there he is back on South Post Oak. You can see he kind of wove around a little bit of traffic there at that intersection under the overpass, and now back on South Post Oak heading in that direction. And at one point he did go the wrong way down the street to cut over and through that gas station and still managed to kind of weave around some traffic and make his way free again. So it's been interesting because you normally don't see this low speed of a chase, honestly, in our experience of the ones that we've been watching. And so this guy is just making his way through. We heard that there were reports of him throwing something out of the windows at one point. We don't really know what that was or what the reason was for that, but officers still in hot pursuit of this guy.
That's right. If you're just joining us, police in pursuit of that black Chevy Lumina, now on South Post Oak in the southwest Houston area. The chase has been going on for the better part of 30 minutes. It started around 11:15 this morning on South Braeswood and Atwell. The vehicle that's being pursued, you can see it there, a black Chevy Lumina. It's unclear at this point what sparked the chase or even how many people are actually inside that vehicle. But the driver, again, making very deliberate moves. We saw quite a few U-turns once the driver exited the South Belt and was down in the South Post Oak area, just going back and forth, making very deliberate moves, keeping the speed in check.
Back through that gas station
Back
again.
into the gas station again, back into that parking lot.
Okay, I think now he's
stopping.
Stop. Opening the doors, coming out.
Laying flat on the ground.
You can see guns drawn here as officers just surround that situation. He's given up.
He's got his hands spread and he's not moving. And you've got 1, 2, 3, at least I can see 3, 4 police cars there on the scene.
He had approached him, but you can see now they're kind of cautiously coming up to him. He looks like he may be trying to get up.
Still has his hands up and he's not moving, slowly following police orders, and they're keeping a distance from him. They don't know if he's armed. They don't know there may be somebody else in the vehicle. He's backing up, walking backwards towards police. You can see 6, 7 police officers there. The 4 that are closest to him have their weapons drawn. He's now backed up against the hood
and now they've cuffed
of the car, and now they're going to handcuff him.
Again, this all started about half an hour ago. The suspect in the area of South Braeswood and Atwell leading police on a low-speed chase out into the South Belt and kind of back and forth up South Post Oak. We don't know what started all of this, but we do know that the officers have this guy in custody. It doesn't look like there's anyone else in that vehicle at this time. We did see this guy throwing some things out of the car at one point during the chase. So we'll get more information from you, definitely, get more information for you and pass it along to you in the later newscast. But it does appear police have their man. They've cuffed him, and we'll try to find out what sparked all of this afternoon.
Yeah, taken into custody without incident. This is the type of ending that we like to see during these police chases. We've covered so many of these, and as you know, in some cases, a driver determined to get away from authorities, they'll drive in speed excess of 100 miles an hour on our roadways. We did not see that happen with this particular chase. The driver, as you saw throughout the course of the 30 minutes, made some very deliberate moves on the road and kept the speed in check. So officers were able to keep a close but safe distance to him. You can see them putting him in the back of a squad car right now, several officers here on the scene. This is all unfolding in the parking lot of a convenience store, and there were several vehicles in that parking lot as well. People gassing up their cars, going inside, grabbing something to eat, which is what people normally do at a convenience store. So you can imagine several witnesses, several people witnessed this whole thing go down.
And you can see officers searching that Chevy right now in the trunk and in the back and checking all the seats to see what exactly was in that car that began this whole chase about half an hour ago. And you can see the officers glad that things ended the way they did, because certainly when you're talking about chases and car chases out on the roads, we didn't see any cars being hit or any sort of dangerous situation, which thankfully this all ended peacefully.
That's right. We're going to continue to gather more information on this still developing story and bring it to you right here on Local 2. Stay with us. We'll be right back.